It's Sunday morning. Excuse me. Whatever this virus is going around, I got it. So I'm not feeling well. But I'm sitting here looking at paperwork. I thought my auto insurance was on auto pay. It wasn't. So I quickly paid it. I'm paying $381 a month for full coverage. I don't have a brand new vehicle. Never had an accident at fault. One ticket 3.5 years ago that should be expired, and it was a failure to yield. And I wanted to fight it, but you can't fight police. Lying cops, you can't fight them, not in court. The cop was speeding, rolled up on me on Fairburn Road, and was mad because I didn't get out of her way. She wrote me a ticket because that's how counties make their money. And after going to court, even though they assign me a lawyer, your lawyer doesn't work for you unless you pay for it. When you get a free lawyer, it works for the system. They don't work on your behalf. A couple of weeks after paying the ticket and agreeing to take it, I was going down Fairburn Road and the sign said 45 miles an hour, I believe. I gotta make sure. But in the court, I said the officer was going 55 miles an hour. And both my so-called attorney and the prosecuting lady said, well, that's the speed limit on Fairburn Road right there. But it wasn't, and it isn't. It's not 55 miles an hour on Fairburn Road in Douglasville. The speed limit is like around 45. But I didn't know that. And my lawyer didn't know that and didn't stand up for me because she didn't work for me. It's a horse and pony show. So I took the ticket, which I shouldn't have taken it. That caused my insurance to go up $69 a month and put points on my license that was completely spotless up until then. No, I had a ticket previously, a few years previously, by a lying racist ass police in Cartersville. But I pled no low because I never had one before that. Okay, so I'm looking at my insurance and I'm like, why am I paying almost $400 a month in insurance? Well, one of the reasons is because these insurance companies these days are out of control. Not regulated. They can charge whatever they want and you have to bend over and take it. These corporations are out of control. These businesses, these multi-billion-dollar businesses are out of control and they're fucking middle-class people, literally. They are screwing us. And we're not doing anything about it because we're too busy and too stressed and we need insurance. We can boycott because everybody can't drive illegally because problems, accidents, right? Now we could all collectively shut it down for a week or two, but that requires a tremendous amount of organization and bravery on the part of us citizens. And let's face it, maybe 10%, maybe a handful of us are willing to do that and sacrifice so that we can have changes. But the majority of people are like, screw that, just pay the damn insurance and work harder. Just get another job, get a side hustle. Because 90% of the population is okay with being slaves, working slaves. We're okay with it. Most people are okay with it. If I could get a very large number of people to join with me and ban against the system and rebel against the system, we can make real change. But when a few of us want to put ourselves out there, the majority of people say, nope, we can't do that. And these corporations, they know this. They know, what are they going to do? They're going to have to pay it. They don't have to charge that much. The CEOs aren't taking losses. The presidents of these companies aren't taking losses. They're making record profits, record-breaking profits. And we are paying for it, but we're not doing anything about it. We can, but we're not. because there's not enough of us willing to say, fuck you. I'm not paying those prices for housing. I'm not paying that price to buy a house. And I'm not buying from a corporation. There are not enough people that are willing to stand up to the system. And that's why the system is freaking us in the buttholes royally. Because we won't stop them. We won't stop them. I paid it because I need my license. I cannot not have a car. And I cannot screw up my license because my license is CDL. I'm a professional driver, and that's my livelihood right now. So I had to pay the $381. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna search for another insurance company. I'm gonna insurance hop. I am going to now search for another company because these two companies that I just had screwing me royally. So screw Geico, screw Hartford, screw Allstate, all too expensive. Screw State Farm. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go, they said there's like a lawyer, there's Walmart. I'm going to go and get a bargain basement insurance company, get my full coverage through someone that's willing to say, look at your record. You don't have a bad record. Why am I paying these prices? I used to work for State Farm in the underwriting department. There are people who know how to scam the system. There were people on there that I saw that had accident after accident after accident, multi-policy discounts. And even with all their accidents, they weren't dropped. So what they do is they take their accidents and the money they claim from their accidents and they pay off their insurance for the year. And the insurance company likes to be paid in full, so they keep them. But then the people that are up on it, that know how to beat the system, they usually take the money they win in the settlements from their accidents and pay it off in full for the year. So basically they have the insurance companies paying their bills for themselves. They don't care that their rate goes up because they're using the money they get from their settlements from the accidents to pay off the insurance, you see? But there are people, good people, that don't want to scam the system, not that they don't want to scam the system, but they just don't want to do anything borderline questionable and illegal. People like myself who don't want to take those kind of chances. So we get screwed. I'm not mad at those people who know how to get over on the system. They're smart and they're brave. But anyway, we have to stop complying. We the people have to. You know, some people, whoever thinks Trump is going to make things better financially, economically, he might, but it's going to take time. And he only has 4 years. Presidents can't do it. Politicians won't do it. We, the people, have the power. But some of us don't know we do. And the rest of us are just too plugged into the system and too tired and too stressed to care. So we just accept the title of being working slaves, and we just keep paying these high rents, although they don't have to be this high. There's no housing shortage. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. There's plenty of housing, but the prices are unaffordable for the average working person. Insurance rates don't have to be so high. They're high because the CEOs of these companies are pocketing bonuses in excess of $20 million a year, literally. We hardworking, ordinary people, have to stop being complacent and compliant. We have to stop. You have to figure it out. I'm not going to say it I have some ideas that work, but I can't say it here because I don't want to have a target on my back. There are ways to stop this mafia 3-letter agency from raping us from our paychecks of literally 2 days worth of work a week. They take like pimps. There are ways to stop them. I'm not going to say here. Okay? We have to grassroots get together and talk amongst ourselves. The stuff they wanted us to stop doing during COVID. They say you can't get together. You can't get more than 5 people in your house together or 6 people, and you have to social distance. They did that for a reason. It wasn't because of the C word. It wasn't because of C-19. It wasn't because of that. They're training us and they're conditioning us to accept it. They're training us like little rats in a maze. They train us. If we accept it, their training works. Don't accept it. Do not accept it. Stop buying food with poison in it. Stop complying to their stupid, unconstitutional rules. Bounce from insurance company to insurance company. It only takes about 20 minutes a day to find another carrier, insurance carrier. And when their rates go up, bounce from them. And then when their rates go up, bounce from them. Disrupt the system. Okay? Don't buy a house from any corporation-owned entity. Buy it, if you can, from a for sale by owner. If you're selling your house, cut out the middlemen. Sell it for sale by owner. Negotiate if you're going to use a real estate agent. Make sure it's not a big corporate-owned real estate agent. Use independent guys. Stop feeding this beast system. Stop feeding them. We're starving and we're feeding them. Stop it. Stop it. If you like what I'm saying and you agree with what I'm saying and you want to form some type of a grassroots organization that we get together off social media and we figure this shit out, let's do that. Comment. Let's get in touch. Give me your email. Let's get together and do that. But stop contributing and feeding to this beast system in any way that you can. I know it's impossible to completely unplug. It's impossible to do that. But we have to make small steps in the right direction for we the people. We have to do that. You have to do that. Or we're screwed. I cannot afford these things that I'm going through. But I can't give up. Please. You don't have to take it. We can take little steps. We can take little steps. We can't do everything all at once major, but we can make little decisions and little steps, and we can fight the system because it's not designed to help us. It's designed to kill us. It's designed to keep us poor. It's designed to have us sell our souls if we want to get out of poverty. Everything is designed. This beast system is evil, and everything in it is designed not for our best interest at heart. I'm not saying there aren't individual good people. There aren't individual good businesses. There aren't some corporations that want to do the right thing. I'm saying overall, the system is not designed with our best interest in mind. The FDA isn't out here to protect us with the food. You kidding? We know this already. Stop buying it. Stop buying the crap. Okay? Stop feeding into this system. Figure out how, get little groups together and go to Starbucks and sit around and talk. Don't go to Starbucks. That's the worst. Get little groups together and sit around in little groups and form little cells of little clubs, whatever you want to call it, where you figure out ways off of social media, because you can't post your ideas on social media because you'll become a target. These 3-letter agencies are watching. You don't have to be rich to be a target. These 3-letter agencies are watching. They're watching us. If somebody popular, like let's say Cardi B or Beyonce in the Black community came out and said what I'm saying, they would be canceled. They would be brought down. They would be ruined. Their careers would be ruined. So celebrities aren't going to tell you this. It's up to us, regular, ordinary, hardworking people. We the people that don't want to, sell our souls or do OnlyFans or do something illegal. It's regular, everyday, hardworking people that are suffering. The poor people aren't really suffering too much because they get everything free. They're getting handouts. Section 8, free housing, food stamps, TANF, medical, free Medicaid. The poor people are okay because as long as you give them your votes and you stay good little, hard, poor, indigent little, some working, some non-working, they don't mind those people. It's the hardworking middle class. It's the people that work regular jobs that are barely surviving. A lot of them are now homeless. Homeless is up 20% or more because people that actually work for a living cannot afford to live. They cannot afford. The corporations aren't paying working people enough to afford the prices. Doesn't matter whether you're a Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative. We, hardworking, every day, going to work, getting a check and getting screwed up by the three-letter agency that starts with an, we are the ones getting screwed. We support the rich and we support the poor. And we have to band together. And something doesn't want me to say this, and we have to band together. We have to form pockets of groups of people that educate ourselves, each other. Can't do it on social media because number one, your account will get deleted, suspended, shadow banned. Like my YouTube is shadow banned. I post like this on my YouTube. Nobody cares. Nobody watches. Nobody follows me. And then if a video starts to get traction, YouTube comes and shuts it down once they realize it's getting traction. Look at my videos. I don't get more than 10, 20 views per video. I've been on here since 2014. Okay? And then if I post something, if I get smart and I post something that gets some views, okay, I get shut down after a few thousand views. When there's whole pornography on YouTube, but I get shut down because YouTube doesn't like me. They don't like me. The algorithm doesn't favor me. They don't like what I say and the things I talk about. I don't talk about nonsense. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. And they shut me down because they understand if I got a following, I would make major moves and major changes, and I would make a difference, a positive difference. Rebelling against the system, and YouTube doesn't want that because it's a part of the system. Ooh, can't say too much more. We have to wake up, be present, get present, and stop being so complacent. We have to. We have to. Guys, we have to. Because I know I'm not the only one paying almost $400 a month for insurance. I know I'm not the only one that, can't afford to buy a house, or can hardly afford to pay rent for a small apartment, or can't afford to feed myself. Luckily, I'm single. But what about people with families? Oh my God. What about single mothers, single fathers? What about people that cannot afford to survive, but they work 40 and more hours a week, but they still cannot afford to survive? But the company they work for, the CEOs and the shareholders are rich. That's not right. That's not right, and it has to stop. We have to change the system, and we can. But we can't do it unless we band together and we start making different decisions. Every day, different everyday decisions.